couple things. First off, give Clemson credit and Coach Brunell and their staff and Clemson. They're a good basketball team. They got some, really good players. They're an older team, and they're good. They're good. PJ Hall's really good. We obviously tried like crazy to get him, and he's just a really good basketball player. But in all that being said, three things that stick out to me. 8 turnovers the first half. We only ended up with 11, which is okay when it's all in the big picture. But 8 in the first half is just not who we are. It's not what we do. We're top 10 in the country in taking care of the ball, and we had 8 in the first half. Now I've got to watch the film because a lot of those were not live ball turnovers. A lot of them were dead ball turnovers, meaning it was like an illegal screen, or they called one where Rodney, they said move the guy, and Debo won. So I without watching the film, I don't know if they were properly called or not. I don't know that. So, but the refs called it, so it's a turnover, and so 8 in the first half is just too many. And obviously, like I said, 11 is not in a high possession game. It's not the end of the world. It's just 8 in the first half too many. Secondly, 11. Even though we were 11 for 18 from the free throw line, we're really 11 for 20 because Debo missed 2 front ends and 1 and 1. So it's really 11 for 20. So that sticks out. And then 5 for 23 from 3. Again, give Clemson full credit. They came in shooting. They're top 10 in the country. We're top 10 in the country in 2 stats: turnover, taking care of the ball, and 3-point percentage defense, and they're top 10 in 3-point percentage offense. And again, they only shot 20. They average over 40% from 3. They shot 27%. But Hunter Tyson and PJ Hall were just really hurt us in the paint there. And then we had 0 fast break points in the first half, 10 the second half. We didn't get anything in transition the first half, so that ended up biting us in the butt. That all being said, tough game, and we'll be off for these next 4 days, Thursday through Sunday. We'll resume Monday, try to grind it out, and it doesn't obviously get any easier. You're playing, you're in the ACC. You got a great challenge, but a great opportunity next Saturday against Virginia. Follow that behind with Miami, and then on the road, Florida State, and I think it's Notre Dame after that, if I'm not mistaken. But so nothing gets easier, and we just got to keep grinding and working and keep getting better.
Josh, they really took advantage of the interior defense tonight. I think 48 points in the paint. What did you see happening out there?
Yeah, they hurt us in the paint. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. PJ Hall and Hunter Tyson were really good in the paint. Both those guys. They hurt us in the paint. And to answer that like. That's where us being a little bit smaller in some areas, really got a little bit exposed in some areas on that when we got, especially when we got stretched out in the zone. We looked a little small inside there.
Pick and roll still a problem?
There was a couple times they got some things, but more than that, even just PJ Hall started, I think their first 6 or 8 points. Just right there and against our zone, and it was sort of like at the 9-foot mark right there.
This was very similar to me to the Carolina game, and you had, especially in the first half, I think you had 15 minutes of total time where you were without a field goal, and I think you scored 1 point during that stretch. It was 2 different stretches, but what do you put your finger on at this point? Is it a situation where you have to maybe rethink the offense? It seems like the Princeton stuff's not working great. The picks and the screens and stuff are not going well. And guys are not cutting well the basket, so it seems. Well,
it's not as much they're not. It's just people are sagging off on us, so it gets jammed up, it gets clogged, and you hear the coach, saying go under, back off. So, a few things on that, Kelly. One is, look, we've been in game mode, so it's been hard to really change or adjust anything, because you've. When I say adjust, meaning like scrap something and put something whole brand new in, just because you haven't had the time. You have one practice and then you're playing again. So this will be really our first time, because in finals week, as much as we were in I call it the MASH unit and finals, we really didn't have a lot of time together. So next week will kind of be the first week, almost like in a preseason way, to maybe clean some things up, Kelly, to get ourselves reorganized and recentered, and course correction on some things on the floor that need to be corrected to give ourselves a little more opportunities offensively. But it all starts, though, Kelly, that we got to be better in transition offense. Like in the first half, we didn't get opportunities in transition offense. We've got to be better in that. Second half, we had 10 fast break points. And then the other thing, Kelly, is, there were some times we just didn't guard the ball well. We didn't keep them in front of us. But that being said, we missed a lot of open threes. We're 5 for 23. If we end up being 10 for 23, you and I are having a different conversation. And you're probably telling me it's a great offense. And I say that to say that it's a make and miss game. And when you need guys to step up and make shots, and unfortunately, I thought we got through that after Alabama State, but we kind of came back to just not making shots again.
What are some of those things you feel like you need to clean up?
Well, we got to guard. I think we got to guard the ball better. That's number one. We have to definitely guard the ball better. I think a couple of our guys, like I think guarding the ball better. We got to be better in transition offense. I think those are two just big things that we've got to that stick out without watching the film, Ken. Without really just by my naked eye.
You've been getting good production from your bench. I think you had a 2-point lead when you went to the bench and brought in 4 guys that have been producing this year, and then for whatever reason, it just sort of fell apart. I mean, is that just something that happens in a game?
Unexplainable. I don't know why we're missing the open shots that we're missing, and I don't. Yeah, I put those 4 guys in, and things kind of went south after that. And it's not those. I'm not blaming those guys. That's just sometimes the synergy of stuff, and it could be another reason. What do we look at? When you play in 2 minutes, you're playing 9. I played 9 guys, and are you better off going with 6 or 7? But those are things that we've got to evaluate. I don't know any of those answers right today, because we need to watch the film and then get back to practice, because I don't want to make any observation or any determinations without watching the film, because I got to see what those guys, when they win, and what happened. And I felt standing on the sideline, we got a lot of good looks. We missed free throws. I mean, how many layups did we miss around the rim? And I'm just telling you, the hardest thing to coach is when you can't score. And Kelly was like Carolina, we couldn't score again. And that's where I go back to Ken, what sticks out is transition offense. We've got to score more in transition offense.
It seems like Javon does a nice job. He's undersized.
And let me just say this on Javon. I didn't think he was out of sync today. I mean, yesterday was his first day he practiced since Carolina. So I'm giving him a little bit of a mulligan, because he had not practiced. I mean, the last time he was on the floor practicing was North Carolina when he got hurt. So yesterday was his first day back, where he was able to go up and down, and I thought he was really out of rhythm today and just not all in sync. But I did want to say that to his defense on that.
Rodney's not a skilled post defender, and that's clear.
Javon's our best shot blocker.
Javon's your best shot blocker, but he's undersized when you play a guy against PJ Hall. Is this a situation where you have to look at Jordan or Kirill or someone else just to give you a body and maybe throw those guys off rhythm? I mean, I think PJ scored 8 of the first 10 points of the game, all in the post.
Yeah, Javon.
Not the backseat drive.
No. Yeah, that's a fair question, Kelly. Javon's really about 6'5" but he's such a great jumper. But we are small in areas. There's no doubt about that. The issue, though, Kelly, is we would have been okay. Even P.J. Hall scoring 25 and 10, they came in the game shooting 40-some-odd% from 3. Clemson, they're top 10 in the country. I mean, they're a really good three-point shooting team. We held them to 27%. So more so than defense, our offense. I mean, we scored 26 the first half. And it wasn't until later in the last 4 or 5 minutes that we break through the barrier. You mentioned it, 15 minutes without scoring is just hard. And we've got to get better in transition offense. We've got to make open threes. We just got to make them. Got to step up and make them. Do we need to look at a Mecca or Curel? I mean, those are all things on the table. Do we look at playing bigger? But that doesn't solve the solution of us missing open shots and not scoring in transition offense. Because I still think, as you mentioned, those are long droughts and stretches, which happened against Carolina, Kelly, where we just went those stretches and droughts of not scoring.
Even though they were getting those points in the paint, is perimeter defense part of the issue of denying
yeah, I not as much denying. I didn't think we did a good job guarding the ball, so we had to come over and rotate and help a couple times.
Yeah. So something that bothered me, I guess, watching the interior defense, it seems, particularly with Rodney, not to pick on him, but he seems to lose track of where the ball is and the situation with the shot clock too at times, and kind of is not switching well and stuff like that. I guess, how do you coach around that? How do you fix that particular issue? Because they got a lot of really easy looks at times from just bad switches on ball screens.
Yeah, well, a couple of those are the weak side defenders. It's not all on Rodney. The weak side defender's got to be pulled over, Kelly, and we got to help Rodney on that from the weak side. It's got to be more pulled over and being on the split line, and we need more offensive rebounds from Rodney out of, that's something, because obviously Jalen gave us 5, but him and Javon today, and again, I'm giving Javon a little bit of a pass because yesterday was his first day back. So, but we need Rodney and Javon to get us more on the offensive glass, and again, those are ways to help us with our scoring droughts, as we've got to get more offensive opportunities. But again, we missed a lot of layups. I mean, I can't tell you how many layups we missed. I mean, I just sensed it, the amount of short shots we missed, and obviously the open threes were, those just become demoralizing when you continue to miss those.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay. Happy